You're gonna not only gonna have to call him the middleweight champion of the world, but you're gonna have to call him the king of Africa now.
Because I saw the debate to where it got to, for me, it was a little untasteful. Now we can try to not say race all we want to, and not say race all we want to. Being in America right now, Henry, you and I, if there's one thing that we do know, is that the color of your skin does play a part.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? After Dricus Du Plessis successfully defended his middleweight title against Israel Adesanya in the battle for Africa's heart, Henry Cejudo decided to do a bit of trolling on his co-host Kamaru Usman on their podcast, saying that he would now have to call him the African King.
Because that was the whole debate, Kamaru. That was the whole debate of him. That was the whole thing on who is, the real African.
And of course, Kamaru Usman got all in his feelings, got his panties in a bunch, and tried to compare race relations in America to the rhetoric leading up to the fight between Dricus and Adesanya.
I need a 36 and me to know where I'm from. If I do a 26 and me, they'll say I'm from Nigeria. Do a 26 and me DNA test. It'll tell you where you're from. I will show you where you're from.
Let's go ahead and check out that clip. But before any of that, over 98% of daily consumers to this channel have yet to subscribe. If you can do me the huge favor of hitting that sub button, I greatly appreciate it. And with that, let's get into it.
Hats off to Dricus Du Plessis. I mean, he just showed that he is. Now you have to give him that respect. He is. Of course, I always respected him as he's the champion, but now everyone has to put some respect on his name as the middleweight champion of the world, because he went out there and did it.
I'm actually gonna go a little further than that, Kamaru. Not only gonna have to call him the middleweight champion of the world, but you're gonna have to call him the king of Africa.
Kamaru is pissed. You can tell by just the way he threw his head back, he was mad that Henry even insinuated that he's now the single. I mean, all the three kings have fallen. I mean, technically, Francis Ngannou never lost his title, he relinquished to go off and venture for himself. Hats off to him. He got more than one bag from that situation, so technically he didn't lose. But there is no more three kings of Africa. There's no more three Nigerian kings. There is only one king, and his name is Dricus Du Plessis.
Come on, man.
No,
am I hitting?
Why?
Am I hitting?
Why would you? Okay, but explain. Why would you say that?
Because that was the whole debate, Kamaru. That
What
was the whole debate of him. That was the whole thing on who is, the real African, I guess, quote unquote. And I don't think it has to do anything with race.
I don't like that he said quote unquote, because if there was somebody pushing the real African narrative, it was definitely coming from Kamaru himself and Israel. Dricus Du Plessis never actually uttered the words real African. All he said is that he trains it out of Africa. He was born in Africa. Many times Kamaru has tried to insinuate that Dricus moved to Africa, or his family came there and he resided in Africa. But no, Dricus Du Plessis was literally born in South Africa. His family maybe came from somewhere else, but himself was born in Africa.
Truly, because I also understood where Dricus was coming from. It's like, hey, I'm born here, I'm raised here. Yeah, it's like I'm another breed. And I think he was saying that I'm quote unquote, I'm the true African champion. You know what I'm saying? I think that was like the biggest. Anyways, this is the whole marketing thing, but overall,
but no, I want to just kind of.
I don't want to hit any.
I want to. You did because I saw the debate to where it got to. For me, it was a little untasteful. It was a little untasteful. Well, not a little, very untasteful, because this is how the division continues to how the division is continuously perpetuated. Is how can you? Was Israel born in Africa?
Okay, so to me, Kamaru was right. It did get untasteful. It definitely did, but from the sides of Kamaru himself, because he was interviewed on the situation. I'll pull up the clip, and he basically says, "Oh, Dricus is claiming he's a real African," and kind of insinuates that he would have to fight him for that title as the true African fighting out of Africa. See, to Kamaru, you're only whatever your race is. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. Given if Kamaru would be, say, wrestling in the Olympics, I'm pretty sure he would wrestle for the American Olympic team. He would wrestle for the United States because this is where he resided. This is where all his skills were crafted in America. His wrestling pedigree was crafted in America. So I don't think that someone would say, hey, Kamaru, you yourself are not American. You are a Nigerian man living in America. No one would negate that. And another comparison with Leon Edwards, he's like, I'm the UK fighter that fought that trained and got the belt for UK that's from the UK and trains there. No one seemed to bat an eye when it was an African man or a Jamaican man, whatever his race is, claiming I'm from this country. I trained there. So this belt is literally going back to the UK. Yes, when Michael Bisping won the championship, he became the middleweight champion. He did it training and fighting out of America. So that belt did not go back. He might have done a press tour and, gone to the UK and shown it off, but his residency is America.
Yes. Was he raised in Africa?
Rocky Leon Edwards isn't even born in the UK, and he was claiming, I'm the real UK fighter here.
Yes. Until his family moving him out to look for an opportunity. Now, we can try to just not say race all we want to and not say race all we want to, but if there's anything that we know, especially being in America right now, Henry, you and I, if there's one thing that we do know is that the color of your skin does play a part. Yes or no? It does.
But when we talk about America, though, Kamaru, America's the world, bro. You have Chinese Americans, Mexican Americans.
But Henry,
and here's the thing. I feel like, as far as the world goes, in America, I think race matters the least. I think Kamaru's has been indoctrinated with this, idea that black people and Latin people are victims, and Henry isn't going for it. I like it, but he will, kind of fold and kind of give Kamaru the okay because he doesn't want to get into hot water. But me, I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to just be like, no, 100% race matters very little in the United States, especially given the fact that the majority of people, when you are another race, you are mostly in homogenized communities where the majority of people in your community will inadvertently look like you.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I'm gonna have to.
But is there a difference?
Disagree with you.
Okay, so you're disagreeing that the way that the color of your skin does not play an impact in the quality of life.
Not in America, man. I don't think so. I think that's all subjective. I think that's
okay. So I did just a little bit of information on myself, and I feel like I've done this a couple times, but I am a first generation Mexican in America. My parents were born in Mexico. I am the firstborn of our family. Most of the majority of our family, I'm the first person born in the United States. And even so, my parents not knowing the language, not coming here, we have managed to build and established a, corporation and build something, that even Americans would, it's nothing to scoff at. I'm not saying we are the richest family in the world. No, of course not. But as far as the ability to become successful, America is still that thing. We would have not had the opportunities to build what we build here in Mexico. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. The classes are so divided still in places like Mexico. I'm sure in Nigeria and all these countries, there is such a hard limitation to move up and down the, economic ladder because of classes, because of, situations. But in America, I still believe that if you want it, you can get it if you're willing to put in the man hours and grind.
I mean, look at a guy like LeBron James.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so you're telling me if you get pulled over or
I
one of
really
our
can't
producers
answer.
gets pulled.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you have to answer that because we already
I
we
will.
already opened the can
I
of
will.
worms. You're trying to say that if we got pulled over, you got pulled over, or I got pulled over, we would be treated the exact same way.
I can't answer that because I'm not black.
I'll answer
Okay, and this is
it for you.
And-
I'll answer it for you. Absolutely not. We will not be.
okay. So this is given. So Kamaru Usman's point right here is that I guess he's asserting that all police officers are white. I don't. I guess that's the assumption that if you are pulled over and you're a Latino or black and you're pulled over, you're essentially going to be your racism is going to happen to you. You're going to be, judged, or you're going to be found, you're going to be looked at more scrutinized, more difficult. But I will say this: most black people, most Mexican people, most Chinese people, all these people mostly live in homogenized neighborhoods, homogenized communities. That means that the majority of Latinos, blacks group with blacks, Mexicans group with Mexicans, and so on and so forth. Say you live in a place like Chicago where the mayor is black, the chief of police is black, your governor is black, everyone is black in that area, and your community is black. If you were being harassed by the police, if the majority of your population is 90% black, let's say hypothetically, and the police is black, that's not racism. That's just them looking at the odds of criminals and making a judgment call. I live in a homogenized area where it's mostly Latino. It means most of the police interactions I will have is going to be majority Mexicans, Latino police officers. So when we were struggling in life and we were doing things not the best of way, buying cars, especially me, I went through a phase where I wasn't paying insurance, so obviously I was getting pulled over because a police officer, when they run your place, they're seeing that you don't have insurance or your registration's late or X reason. That's not racism. That's just you not, or myself included, not following the rules. I never once was like, oh, this is because I'm brown, because I was getting pulled over by other brown people. I live in California, Southern California, where it's majority Latino Americans. So my direct mayor is brown. The police force is brown. The majority of people are brown. So I'm not sure. I think Kamaru Usman was born in Dallas, Texas. So maybe, the South, I can't speak on the South that much. And I think he might reside in Denver. But if he wants to not see maybe those things as much, maybe he should reallocate somewhere where the majority of people do look like him. He's made enough money, I'm sure, where he doesn't have to live wherever he is seeing those things. He can move back to Nigeria and be a millionaire there, but he chooses not to. So that means obviously the racism or whatever he's spewing about right now isn't bad enough to where he would relocate to somewhere else. So I don't think in 2024, for a person that's made a well amount of money, was a champion in the UFC, defended his title, got pay-per-view points, was able to generate a good amount of wealth, has a foothold to stand and say, oh, we are still dealing with racism. My guy, you're a host of a podcast. Like, how many police interactions are you going through? You're getting pulled over in your fancy car and the cop's like, did you steal this, buddy? I don't think that's happening. I don't think it's going on. I got pulled over a lot when I had a beater and a bucket. Yeah. But when I'm driving my nice car, my brand new car off the lot, and it's happening a lot less.
So let me just answer that for you. We will not be. And so tying that back into this is
and also, what does race relations in the United States, which are probably better than ever been, go? And I don't know how experienced Kamaru is visiting other countries. Maybe he hasn't been to other countries, but the racial problems in other countries are much, much worse. I mean, look at the UK right now. They are a mess. They are a disaster. Look at France. Look at all these countries that have let tons of Muslims and people from the Middle East, and they are having the worst go at it right now.
Wanting to clear, I understand it was a whole marketing thing for Dricus Du Plessis, which he might have not necessarily meant it the way that Israel might have taken it all the way, but you have to be careful because it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. you have to be careful with what you say, because now we're in a position to influence the masses in the world. So with power, I say it all the time, with great power comes great responsibility. When you have that platform and you have that mic in your hand, you have to be careful what you say.
The thing is, I don't think he ever actually listened to Dricus's actual words. I think he heard what people said about Dricus's words. I don't think these guys do a ton of research. They don't look into things. Someone tells them, oh, did you see Dricus said he's the real African? And they just go ahead and regurgitate those lines. The problem is that yes, I am Mexican, but I am first American, first things first. So I would represent America in any athletic venture or anything like that. Mexicans themselves won't even sometimes, see you as truly Mexican, because you're not going through the same struggles they are. I'm going through American struggles, Mexican American struggles, and there is struggles that I have no, understanding of people that reside in Mexico. I've been to Mexico lots of times. The difference in poverty from here to there is extreme, but the police still harass you in Mexico. I've never been to Mexico, and when the people in Mexico, where it's the same race of people, they are also like, fuck, we're gonna get fucked with. Authority will always, not always, but like the abuse of authority doesn't stop at color. The same colored people, police are gonna fuck with you.
It's just like people treating you different, saying, oh, you're not real Mexican because you're an American. That's not true. You understand that you respect your heritage, Henry. And so we have to pay homage to that. So to say, oh, I'm the real African.
But you never said that.
He
never once said he was a real African.
Completely. That's completely crazy. And for you to say that a perpetual, oh, he's the real African king. I know you're just joking, but it's not. This is how the division continues to be perpetuated.
The division keeps perpetuating because you're ill-informed, didn't do your research, didn't actually hear what he said. He said, I'm the guy that breathes the African air. I am here. I eat, I sleep, I train, I live, my residence, my postal code, I am in Africa. He said, as far as he knew it, all the belts, Kamaru's belt went back to America. Kamaru's belt went back to, Kamaru's belt went back to America. Israel's belt went to New Zealand. Kamaru went back to, he was in America, or France. But that's what he's saying. He says, once I'm the champion, this belt is going straight to Africa. That's where it's going.
Dricus Du Plessis is the fourth. So there's 4 horsemen. 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
So we've moved on from the 3 kings to where now it's 4 horsemen.
Is he saying that they're the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Because that is fucking crazy.
So to continue to perpetuate this whole, African king or this or that, that's ridiculous.
I just don't understand why no one had a problem when, Edwards was saying this belt is going back to the UK. It's this whole, it's okay to criticize white people, but you can't criticize brown people for anything or black people for anything. And it's the victim mentality that I hate. Like, any country you go, they're gonna be cops that are dickheads. It's not like because I'm Mexican and once I'm in Mexico, the cops are like, go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want. No, they're gonna fucking harass you if you're fucking up. They're gonna fucking extort you. It's gonna happen. But I feel like Kamaru has such a lack of experience maybe in other countries or what the situation. He is from Nigeria. His ancestry is from Nigeria, right? He was there and his family bailed, right? They left Nigeria because they're like, fuck this. We're going to America for better opportunities. The opportunities outweigh the potential racism. I guess his father made that equation, and most fathers, and my father, and the father of countless immigrants say, you know what? We might not be white, we might be brown or black or whatever, but the potential positivity, the better future for my children will always outweigh the racism that I might see. But if you have a victim mentality, which Kamaru Usman seems to exhibit, shows that he's still thinking that it's, 1960s. And, and I get it. His dad went to prison. I don't know if he was falsely accused or he paints a good sob story. I've heard it in Joe Rogan where, some people were doing some shady business and his dad took the blame for it. So he has a gripe with the criminal justice system. I get that. I totally understand that. But you can't just say that his plight is the plight of all black people, because there is the majority of almost all professional athletes endeavors or African American or black or whatever you want to call them, you know. So if it was truly so hard, these people wouldn't be succeeding. It is insane. It is victim mentality. I am 100% against this. It is so lame and corny. And that's pretty much the whole video. Comment down below what you think. Let me know, am I 100% wrong? Do you agree with Kamaru Usman? Do you think that, you know, Dricus Du Plessis was wrong in making the comments? I don't see it that way. I mean, because I'm a, you know, immigrant to America, you know, if I would win a championship or become anything, I would say, here's my American flag. I am proud to be an American. I have no problem with it. So he's proud to be, you know, an African that was born in Africa, resides in Africa, trains in Africa, won without having to leave. To his overarching message to me was like, listen, Africans or whoever, you can do it in the country you're from. That's his message, you know. So, you know, hats off to him. Comment down below, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If I'm a complete idiot, let me know. Comment down below. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Later.